Welcome to the Lorelines podcast, where we kill Meowth 50 times a day. This week we had the live letter and an amazing patch trailer. We'll be leading off discussing some of the things that Yoshida and the team brought up on the letter, following by showing the patch trailer and then discussion of what's to come. I don't have a whole lot of intro today, so thank you for joining us, and I'm gonna bring us live. Who wants to begin?
Just so you know, I speak my drink. Thank you.
Math has already died 3 times.
Yeah.
Yep. I don't know. Let's talk. Well, we can talk about how long you laughed during the stream.
Are we talking about live letter or not?
We maybe.
Let's start with the people that are actually there, or do we want to go with people's initial reactions to the rest of the live letter? I want to go ahead and start with the live letter itself before we actually go into the trailer.
Agreed.
So we know the live letter announced that the patch is going to go live on the 13th, and the second part will be released at the end of May. It's usually how the patch schedule works. If you remember last time in Stormblood, it was released at the middle of May, actually. So they're not actually far off from their normal schedule. It's maybe like half a month now for releasing the, how like 4.55 was middle of May. So 5.55 part 2 will be end of May. So that's good.
4.55 was in March, I believe.
What? Well, Prelude and Violet was in, I believe, yeah, because Prelude and Violet was in May, right?
No, I'm
No?
gonna pull it up.
Okay, pull it up, yeah, because my memory may not.
Patch 4.56 patch notes were posted on March 26, 2019.
Okay, never mind, I was wrong. Okay.
How dare you?
I know. That's me trying to remember all the way back to Stormblood.
I mean, to be fair, considering patch 4.56 was 2 MSQ quests, I don't blame you.
Yeah.
I should pull up a document. Let's see if I can find it for the live letter stuff. You guys.
Oh,
were here
an
for the
additional
presentation.
note for April 13th's patch. Yoshida said that it's not going to be 24-hour maintenance this time. And that since Ultimate was pushed back to 6.1, if they finish early, they're going to probably go ahead and open the servers early.
Ooh.
Good.
That's great.
No, everyone will be finished with everything. By the
I'm
time
going
they
to
get
be
home from work.
sleeping, so don't expect me to wake up at the crack of dawn.
Oh, I'll be up before dawn.
I'll be up. I'll be up for that.
Nope.
I have to go to the doctor, so yeah, marvelous.
For laughing or just for
For my kidneys.
Which she heard one day while she was laughing.
Yep.
Yep.
One might say her sides went into orbit.
Hey.
Can we please move on?
I was excited by the most disparate things in the live letter. I heard about the gathering improvements and was like, oh man, I should go back to gathering. So they're gonna have like more accurate markers when you're trying to find and gather a specific thing.
Yes.
So that's gonna be really nice quality of life.
Yes, they're going to actually have circles on the map for you to be able to refer to that show you the general area where stuff is spawning, like nodes.
Very much looking forward
Nice.
to that. The other thing I'm excited about is the changes to the targeted enemy marker, so you can tell which way it's facing if you're on the side, and it's a
I'm
little
excited. I
harder.
heard about that, but I didn't see the details. How did they end up
See,
doing that?
that's not going
It
to help
looks
you
like-
have effects on for everybody.
Well, I can't do the fights that I do and then do that.
I think they're just gonna be it's gonna be reactionary still for me. Like I won't need the actual arrows. It's just gonna be like, okay, yeah, it's definitely facing this way. I just stick with this, moving forward. But for the people that haven't played the game as long as we have, it's going to be very important.
even with me who has played it a while, I find it handy because it looks like they're precisely at the left and right side. So if you ever need to be precisely to the side in Fate Breaker, for example, it'll be
Yes. So who would like to go ahead and start off with the live letter? Actually, I'm gonna call out Bonnie or Cobran or Neela.
Well, I was gonna suggest that we start with like Whirl-It, and then
Move on. Okay.
and then near just go with what we have the least on and work our way up.
So Yoshida says diamond is juicy.
That's pretty horrifying.
I mean, it definitely looked like it was pulsating at one point.
Kind of bubbling a little bit, yeah.
Yeah, like
Looks
those
like
arms,
simmering in a pot.
those arms were organic as heck.
So the entire weapon itself has like a Shinryu vibe to it. Also,
Hopefully I
for
didn't
those
do that at all.
for those of you who didn't catch me fanboying about it on stream, the entire chassis of the G Warrior weapon it's carrying is a reference to Gundam 0083 Stardust Memory, the Dendrobium Orcus GPO3.
The largest attachment for any Gundam ever.
Right. Well, I mean, it's technically a mobile armor, not exactly a mobile suit. But moving on from that, the Warlit instance is called the Cloud Deck, which I assume we're calling it the Cloud, or we're just in the clouds fighting on
The clouds parting on that arena looked really nice. Like the graphical effect on that was really cool.
Yeah, it was so well done.
So with this being the final part of Warlit, what can we expect to see?
Gaius being awesome.
Lots of death.
Valen's getting his shit kicked in.
Say there's a shot of Gaius lining up some kind of shot with his gunblade thingy, whatever.
But
it's
he's still in
called.
Warlit in
Trailer,
that background.
It's really good. Really?
The
And,
location in that shot.
I mean, I just hope he's
was-
taking a shot to put one between Valen's eyes.
He's gonna shoot
Yeah.
a
I heard
shot.
that.
I am expecting Valens to drink another milk brick.
This
Well-
episode
Need
brought
another
to you
milk
by
carton?
Milk.
I
Drowned in
mean,
milk.
Diamond
Jesus.
Weapon is kind of white, so.
That's no, stop.
We're gonna put you in timeout.
This isn't live letter specifically, and at the risk of, I don't know.
Yes.
But honestly, that character, it shocks me that he's like basically Nero level. but he's gotten in charge of the army somehow. Fuck that guy.
They've really
You can
pushed
beat
the
me.
boundaries of what they can do with facial animations with him,
Oh,
and
boy.
how far they can push the rating with him, with
Yes,
his
absolutely.
content. and
Well,
what
also
he's
like
doing.
Yeah.
they're also pushing like believability and like how much you can create a mega Hitler with the character and just like, are you serious? Is this person capable of being any more evil?
Right.
We actually
There's,
had
like-
to create kind of like a trigger warning on some streams that we were moderating because there are people that are very offended by what they witnessed. And
it was rather shocking, even to someone who isn't usually bothered by such things.
Mm-hmm.
I was really
It's
surprised that they went that far.
Just
It's
seeing it in
interesting
your
that they're
media.
pushing it. I feel like I personally don't enjoy that kind of story where it's like, oh, shock, horror. I far prefer to see the emotions behind people and find relatable things, which is why I don't know if this character arc is going to do the justice I would have hoped for Gaius, but we'll see in the end.
It also feels just out of place in an entire game universe where there is no good or evil specifically like in a pure sense. There's more of like shades of gray everywhere and characters who are like on a whole continuum of good and evil. No individual is like that pure evil, and yet he kind of just sits there and is like, I have zero redeeming qualities whatsoever.
Yeah,
It is
exactly.
Unless 5.5 kind of plays a twist on that, but
That would be
I
shy.
doubt this
At this
character.
point,
I
I
don't view
highly
as
doubt it.
redeemable at all.
I don't
Yeah.
think so either.
They
But
just wanna
even-
make
even
Fandaniel
Xenos
look
has
good.
redeeming qualities.
yeah.
The only way he can be redeemed is if he dies and gets off my screen forever. I do not like this character. I think the shock value that they were going for in order to portray him as evil, I find it a little bit lazy, to be honest, because it
Mhm.
just makes me hate this guy. But like, I don't know anything about him. Like, I don't have any backstory other than he was like second
Agreed.
fiddle to everybody, and then just somehow by virtue of literally everybody in the upper rung dying, I guess they just kind of shoved him up, and they were like, "Well, he's the last guy we got left. Throw the evil guy in, see how he does."
Leave it to
Honestly,
the
I
Empire.
kind of feel like the reason Valens is even the way he is, from just Square's perspective, not even necessarily lore perspective, is he almost to me seems like an answer to the portion of the community that complains that they want evil villains instead of sympathetic villains, because there's a portion of the community is like, stop making us feel bad for the villains. We don't want to feel bad when we beat them.
Are we ethically compromised when we have to fight for our, like,
Yep.
for actual reasons?
It is
no,
worth
but I was actually going to say that balance is kind of square slapping the hell of these people who consider other characters to be purely evil, and they are like, hey, this is how pure evil looks like.
I do find it interesting because the game has, in the past, had quite a variety of storylines, some very lighthearted and goofy ones, some more comical, across the spectrum, even some horror ones. I'm thinking of like the Tamtara stuff. And I do like that in general. It always ends up there's some that I don't personally care for, but I'd rather have the variety, I guess. But this one, it didn't do it for me anyway.
He's not even really like a Grinwat character where he's a useful pure villain in that sense. Like, Grinwat really kind of struck me as very much more of like a pure villain, but only because he was intended to be a minion kind of character, not someone who's actually like leading the plot so much as just serving the plot progression. Valen doesn't really strike me as someone who's really serving plot progression or any other real real purpose. He's just sort of comically evil.
Yeah, he's a cartoon character.
He's guys, but bad, I guess.
That's
He-
technically
he's-
true.
Yeah.
He's a lazy answer to what they should be doing with Gaius, which is making him actually reconcile with his shortcomings and his ego from when he was a Legatus.
I
It does
kinda
feel
disagree.
clumsy to me.
I don't think he.
Yeah.
Well,
I
based on his
just-
current characterization, I don't think he needs to reconcile with his ego. It seems pretty deflated.
That's kind of the problem.
Meowth, go ahead.
No, it's just that I can understand. I personally would have liked if they delve a bit more into Gaius, but I also understand that they have a lot. They have the how do you call it? The roster is quite large as it is, and they have if they have to stop by each one of the characters, they're going to. Well, it's not from their perspective. They have to condense many things like in a zip file. So
Right.
I guess in a sense they have to go for a not quick but efficient way of solving Gaius's arc. And while I agree it could have been done better, one has to understand that Gaius at this moment is not a main character. So, I mean, he's not in the main lines right now. He's in the side. He's in a side.
Yeah, he's not even B string really. He's C string at this point.
Yeah.
And they said that he may or may not have a minor role in the MSQ too.
For Endwalker specifically.
I mean, I don't see why he wouldn't have at least some kind of role in Endwalker if we're going to Garlemald. Like, he seems like he would be useful as an information source and a perspective on the Garlean people and Garlemald as a whole, because he's still a patriot, even if he disagrees with like some elements of it on the face of it now, like because he was lied to about the whole Asian thing. But
And I kind
We
of think
still
that
need
that
someone-
probably indicates he's going to like fully defect to be with like one of his children if they live, or he's going to get severely injured, and our Garlean character for Endwalker is probably going to be someone like Nerva instead or something.
or Maxima.
Or Matt.
I like
think
to
it's
hope
also-
that it'll be like a few characters, I hope.
I think it's also worth acknowledging that he has been to Garlemald recently. He's seen some of the, the Civil War stuff that's going on at the beginning there. So he's also more knowledgeable than anyone else we have in our pocket that I'm aware of.
He also was there when Emperor Varus died, and we're definitely going to need someone to put on the throne in Garlemald to keep things stable, because if an empire like that falls apart, then that's going to be even worse than what we have now.
I highly doubt we would put Gaius on the throne, but it would certainly be interesting to get his input.
Gaius would be a great advisor for the new emperor or ruler. I have to say much.
So I have a question for y'all.
Yes.
What does everyone here think the Oversoul will be?
Warrior Light. I cannot think of a more obedient weapon.
I mean,
That does
same.
sound awesome.
That
I
would be
agree.
interesting. That would be a very interesting twist, but I'd love to know how they got a hold of our information like that.
Alamigo.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
Oh,
true.
no.
That is true. That is true.
All of the people so far have been wearing Imperial armor, which is where we think the recorder must be. It's not like just drawn from the ground. They've got to have technology that records this stuff.
But it could have been recorded by Xenos'
Aulus.
armor.
Or
Aulus.
the weapon
Oh,
will
I
just
see.
start shouting, "I'm salvation given form, mankind's first hero,
Oh.
and its final hope."
I will stab you.
I will know it so hard.
Oh,
Every
no.
boss from now on is just the Warrior Knight. Is that what you're saying?
Yes.
Everyone, the Warrior of Light is the new She-Hulk.
It'll be the Elidibus warrior, not us, and that'll be a twist.
There we go.
Elidibus.
It'll be Elidibus
Stop it.
mecha form.
Piloted by Valence.
Elidibus
what a
stands.
combination.
Elidibus stands are going to be so confused. They're gonna be like, wait, am I dating a robot now?
No, I'm dating the crystal tower. Don't worry about it.
Don't ask any questions. Just go with it.
Shinji getting the robot.
My word, this data.
Does Shinji gets on the robot, or the robot gets into?
Whoa, that's a good one, Meow. I'm keeping that.
That's some real fan fiction.
Jokes aside,
Yes, PB 14 giving us new kinks. Exactly.
yeah.
That's half the appeal.
Back on track here, though. So we'll get a normal and we'll get an extreme, of course, and so do we want to go ahead and move into Bosnia now?
Yeah, we got a lot of information on Bosnia, actually.
Yes.
So we don't have to be 15 to enter the new zone, right? We can go in at 10.
You can go in at 10.
Yeah,
Or rank
but there's
15,
gonna be,
actually.
There's going to be like so many ranks, though. Like now,
Yeah.
they're going to add 10 more on top of 15.
Yeah, up to 25.
That seems about right. Back in Eureka, we had to... Well, we didn't have to, but it was actually more efficient to grind to 24 in the original zone and then hop in once you weren't going to auto-die to Fates. So
Yeah.
I'm imagining this 10 to 25 thing is what they're kind of going with the same thing there.
I never did Eureka, so I have no input on this.
Mm.
But
You didn't mess
I
with
did do lots of Bosnia.
Yeah, Bosnia is basically just better Eureka.
There's a lot of debate on that one, but I would certainly say that it is a thing.
You don't have to be much better to be better than Eureka. Just...
See, I
Well,
actually
let's
prefer
clarify
Eureka's
better than
content.
Anemos.
No, I mean, better can mean different things. I mean,
And
easier to get
Pagos.
into, lower barrier to entry, arguably
Better
more like straight fun, but less. It seems less fun in the long run somehow.
Better than going straight to Pagos, which was at its initial launch considered some of the grindiest, shittiest content in the game.
Yeah, it was
Yeah.
rough. I didn't come back
As-
until Pagos.
Whereas Pyros and
Yeah.
Hydatos were better.
Until
They
Pagos
were,
was
but-
ending. That's when I came back.
As Pagos was referred to as by Zepla, a lingering dog fart.
I do
Wow.
posit that it would have been fine if it had roll actions the whole way through.
I agree.
I agree.
And so that's where we are now, and they're better at making it.
Yeah.
But yeah, so as far as entering Zadnor goes, they said you don't have to be rank 15. The only requirement is the story, and I'm pretty sure at present
That's-
the story only requires rank 10.
Rank 10. Yeah.
Right.
You would be right, yeah.
Yeah, so probably rank 10. The 48 man is the Dalriada, which is the
That
easy-
massive ship.
That big old ship they brought in.
Yes.
I want one. Can I just replace my XP house and airship with
It's
that?
Yeah,
just the Titanic, only with an airship.
Like they should
Only an
basically take a page out of Star Wars: The Old Republic and basically let players have their own Garlean warship
Oh, I would love that.
and have that be their FC house. Everybody gets like their own command deck and stuff.
Just
So
for
can I-
those,
Glorious.
for those
Can I
who
just
don't-
make a? Go ahead,
for
man.
the, what, no, for those who don't know, that airship is straight ripped out from Final Fantasy XII, and I adore it. I love them for it.
Yep. I just want to point out the difference. We see Noah Gabranth with this giant, beautiful airship, and Valen's, in his little tin can lab. The difference between these two is very, very much like night and day.
Yeah,
And we can see who's the better.
Noah's got a head on his shoulders to build his own nation, whereas Valen's is just trying to settle an old grudge.
Hmm.
Yeah.
One of them is planning
Which
and
is-
doing logistics, and the other one's just pissing away whatever he can get his hands on.
I suspect
Which
we
that
will
part
have
is
lost
very intentional.
a possible hero in this because of the Gorsh Dorn Soulstone that he's hanging around with.
Hmm.
Oh, the Orsite?
Yeah, like this is a person that the Auracite. Yeah, this is a person who quite possibly might be the only person capable of leading the Empire in an ethical way. And in the pursuit of power, we came upon a whoopsie rock.
Yeah, that's a good descriptor.
That's good.
Yeah.
I mean, that is a good descriptor.
See, I had talked about this earlier, that Gabranth earlier spoke of defeating the Empire with the power they so abhor. And I wondered whether he assumed that they were talking about just primals, or that he would use the Auracite that he's been collecting to bring out kind of pseudo-primals.
The Lucavi.
Ayumi, was
Yeah.
it you we discussed last year about the difference in characterization in the dialogue with Gabranth and the end of the Evilise raids?
A little bit, yeah.
know if you
So
wanna
back
touch on
in the Evilise raid series, he spoke as like a normal Garlean, let the Eorzeans play with their baubles, so on and so forth. And there was nothing strange about it. He was there to collect information and study what was in the Clockwork City of Gaug, their ancestors, basically. Fast forward to after the third raid, the Orban Monastery. At the very end, there is a cutscene in which he is talking to one of his subordinates, and he has a slightly different tone, saying that he wants the Empire to fall, and the Empire will be destroyed by the very power they so abhor, or the very primals that they so fear. So the shift in tone from that, it just makes you wonder whether he is dead set on just defecting from the Empire, or just, isolating himself from the Empire, or something could possibly have tempered him. But I doubt it's tempering.
I don't think it's tempering. I read it as he had his initial tone because Varys was still alive at the time, and he was basically like, I need to toe the party line still, because if I have plans to be a nation builder, I have to do it at a point when the Empire can't just come and crush me. And now he has that opportunity.
I do hope you're right. But
Yes.
I'm reading
I agree.
some prior square patterns. and I'm
However,
like,
he's playing. However, he playing with the Auracite and the Lucavi is kind of
Feels naive.
I
Yeah.
have a thought now on the whole Orsite thing with Gabranth.
Go ahead.
So we also know that he was investigating specifically Tartarus at the
Yep.
Ridorana Cataract. And now I'm thinking, oh, gee, I wonder if maybe he picked up the Zalera Orsite and everything is going to be terrible.
I mean, he literally
no.
picked up the remaining Auracite, because remember, he has a Dramelech that he used
Mm-hmm.
in
Mhm.
Bosnia. We see him use Kukulan in... I can't remember. Why can't I remember?
Dalriada.
Yeah, the Dalriada.
I really hope he doesn't whip out Zalera. I am going to be so mad.
So he has numerous Lucavi to his name. He can. The subordinates to him are so loyal; they will use the Lucavi no matter what.
We
They don't
already
have
fought
second
one.
thoughts about it. Yeah.
Yep. So this is what it's like to become a god.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, well, that's Dark Beowulf, right, straight out taken from Final Fantasy Tactics when he
Yes.
transforms into a Dramalek.
Yeah, and that's another sign that Matsuno is definitely a key figure in overseeing this this series, and I love it.
Oh, and just a little minor note regarding the 4 million hours of Bosnia we had in the trailer. For people who love Fran is in one of the shots in the trailer, so we get Fran back, yay.
Do you think that means that we'll finally get to see Ash again?
Poor Shelia.
I hope so, but I kind of doubt it.
I doubt it.
I doubt it too. I mean, we know that Rassler died, so. Still in Bosnia, though. We know that this is going to be the remaining weapon. This is going to be the last part of the weapon storyline. They've already gone and announced that it will be slightly better than the Edenmorn series. So for all of you guys that thought that the final raid tier was the best weapons, this is almost kind of a slap in the face.
Well, for the record, this is how it usually ends up. Usually the finalized weapon of the relic is a tiny bit better.
And
Wait, he's talking
I'm
about the
wondering
weapon
what
quest,
all
right?
you have to go through, because me sitting through all those fates, me sitting through all those DR runs, me sitting through all those Crystal Tower runs,
I would
worth
argue,
it.
yeah.
But wow.
Yeah, I mean, it really comes down to what you think is a fairer grind. Hitting the ground in Savage or hitting the ground in Bosnia?
And I want to emphasize that this is nowhere near as bad as the end stage relic in Heavensward was, with the random diadem drop that the stat might just completely be garbage.
Don't
and
remind me.
4 layers of RNG.
Nope.
Why you remind us of this?
It's the shiny
They have learned
completionism
and improved.
for
Yeah.
the so-called casual.
We can go even further and go to Realm Reborn, the Zeta weapons.
Hey, I enjoyed the Realm Reborn relic grind.
Well, aside from the Atmas and the Animus books, it wasn't too bad.
I was
See,
there
I
for
actually like
Vanilla
those
Atma.
pieces.
Oh boy.
Same.
Oh boy.
Atmas are a crime. Atmas were
It
awful.
wasn't terrible after they fixed it, but man, before.
It wasn't that bad.
Doing the materia step for me was awful because
Yeah.
I was broke as hell after 1.0, and I didn't actually really start doing anything to make money until I got to the materia step. So one of my friends ended up just giving me materia because I was getting so frustrated with not being able to afford materia. It's like back then we couldn't trade in stuff for materia. We had the Spirit Bond gear or just buy it.
I remember that, yeah.
Yeah. The Alexandrite step was the worst for me.
Yeah.
Okay,
You have anything
so...
else on Bosnia?
Yeah, does anyone else have anything on Bosnia?
Do you guys think there's going to be more than Cthulhu for
Yes.
Astrid?
Yes,
It's
absolutely.
gonna be
Absolutely.
2 to
I
3.
think.
Who do you think is going to be added?
Bonnie wants Solera.
Don't call me out like that.
Okay, but
Please
you're
call
calling
us
me
about-
out too.
Okay.
You're calling me out too with that.
Please leave Solera out of this.
No.
Core, what
I
were
have
you...
some-
Oh,
Please leave Zalera out of this.
Okay. My bets are on Exodus.
Mm-hmm.
We've
too,
already
right?
seen Ultima with the Orosites. So,
Yeah.
Yeah, so
That's-
far we've seen
Fair.
Belius, Hoshmal, Ultima,
Matthews.
Yeah, Mateus, Adramelech, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so the ones they might add then would potentially be
Exodus.
Chaos.
Shemhaze, Hashmel, and Zeromus.
Hashmal was seen at Rebenaster.
Oh, Hashmel, right.
Don't
There's
forget Zodiac.
Chaos too.
Yep.
So it would be Chaos, Zalera,
Shemhazai.
Zeromus, Exodus, Shemhazai,
And Zodiac.
and Zodiac,
Mhm.
yeah.
Right.
I don't think they'll be bringing out Zodiac. Just saying.
Just saying.
That would be extremely confusing if they did.
Yeah.
I'm
I would
putting my
say-
bets
So
on
confusing enough,
Exodus,
but
Shemhazai,
Chaos.
or Chaos. And I think Zeromus also for reasons.
Yes.
I don't know if they would use Chaos though, because they did use him recently in the final tier of the
I mean, different chaos.
Alphascape. I know it's different
But
Chaos.
see,
Same,
yeah, and,
same and different.
but
No, I
see,
mean,
that's the
it's
same.
fundamentally- It's like we won't be seeing XDeath. I mean, it's going to be Exodus. So
It's the same premise as when they use Kukulin for
Yeah.
Void Arc,
Ah,
and
yeah.
then for this.
Yes, but you have to
They're-
understand if you're
they're
going to say
actually-
that, then that same thing applies to Zodiac because Zodiac from 13 or from 12 looks rather different.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
So I had a thought on this whole sequence, and I know we're getting vastly off topic. I just wanted to add this. I think you're right. We're not going to see repeats as far as the Espers go, but I got the feeling during the Evilise raids that Ultimo is pulling the shots because her boss mechanics include resummoning all of the Espers that we just fought our way through. So I don't think that's the case here unless Ultima survives somehow. So I don't know. They could repeat some. They won't, but there's no logical reason they couldn't. But I think you're probably right about them not doing so.
Definitely.
All of this is making me think like they're going to pull a Zalera on us.
We keep going back to that.
Excuse me.
I
Okay.
personally think Shemazai would be a really cool Esper to battle.
I agree.
She's really cool,
Mm-hmm.
and she's Igayorm, so well, she is.
Shemhazai, the Whisperer, created an opposition to Yorm the Martyr.
Yeah,
I need it.
So if we have any martyr characters, let us know.
She-
Might be a hint.
she's also the Esper of Soul, which is interesting, and she also has the how do you call it? It's the crossbows. That would be really cool to fight.
Makes sense since
Exodus,
it's
the
associated
Judge
with
Sal.
He's a
Sal
tree.
is
Yeah.
Sal is a North Indian type of tree. I looked
He's
this
a
up at one
tree.
point.
Exodus
He is literally a tree.
Exodus is also interesting because he is the Esper of Ether. So
Yeah, the
He's
elements
also
in
named
12
the Judge,
convert
so
very
I'm
weird.
wondering.
Yeah,
I'm
is
wondering if a certain
no,
person is going to use it as a
Oh,
lesser
yeah,
interesting
yeah,
idea.
Noah's going to be
I
like,
like that.
if I can't have a nation, no one can, and then poof.
Yeah.
Exodus, the Judge.
the Judge
Is there no
Solo,
place for me?
who also drops meteors on us. It's his ultimate attack, by the way. Meteor.
You heard it here, folks. I'm calling it.
I'm also another thing that I was wondering is, are we going to see any Landis related like references aboard this
please.
ship, like potentially like any sort of like Landian knights or anything else that's like out of the Garlean norm?
That would be cool.
I would
Maybe-
also like to see
maybe-
them improve on Dalmasca too.
Yes.
Yeah.
Maybe
Like,
maybe
putting it in at all?
Maybe the Landis discipline is the Beastmaster, because we haven't heard shit about his Beastmaster for now.
You know,
He
and
was,
that's the
That's
thing.
interesting you bring that up. I'm convinced that's going to be Lions.
I saw that in the trailer. I see Lion in the trailer, and I'm like, is he looking at something friendly or a foe?
Oh, you mean the blue glowy thing?
Yes.
So that
He's looking
blue
at
glowy
Mikoto.
thing is the big boom at the start of the trailer as well. So I'm pretty sure it's not a friendly thing.
Did we want to?
Well, I mean, friendly in regards to like on our side or their side.
I have a feeling it may be neither.
Yeah, that's actually fair.
Because if you pay attention to the big boom at the start of the trailer, it engulfs / hits the airship that Makoto's on.
All right.
Where are we?
So let's move on from Bosnia. We covered a good portion of it and throughout series. What shall we go to next?
We've got on your bullet list. We've got FanFest details.
Yeah, there's FanFest, there's Nier, which Ayumi, you'd be the man.
Both
Yeah,
me and Bao and Kobran.
Nier Automata is a must-play. Chat. If you haven't, get on it. We'll see you in 3 weeks.
Yeah.
And Tiamat, but we're gonna touch on that a little bit later.
The Tiamat part, yeah,
Oh
absolutely.
yes, we're gonna rewatch the trailer
There's some
later.
real shit there. I hope do we still have the screen grabs that we talked about?
I believe so.
Dragon Tail, for example, without.
So we have
They should be in
screenshots.
screenshots.
And when we go over the trailer, what I want to do is actually have the trailer up on screen and us go through it at 0.25 speed for stuff.
Yes, frame by frame.
Should we watch it once first?
Yeah, probably.
Okay, I've
Like
got
I
it
was
ready to go when we're ready.
Like I was saying the other day, like I don't think we should limit ourselves to 2 hours for talking about this because the trailer itself is going to be a lot of discussion.
Quite a bit. So you guys are in for a ride today. So we'll move into Nier. The Tower of Paradigm's Breach is actually the name of the last part of Nier Automata. And what we see in the trailer is the inside the mind of 9S, actually, where you actually have to do a hacking game in Automata.
Mm-hmm.
It's yeah. We see the giant red girls too. They are actually the egos of the machine life forms. Fao,
Yeah.
Cobran, you want to add to this?
Yeah, pretty much the whole deal with the red girl, like you said, the ego of the machine. What's really behind developing the machines and forcing them to evolve? That's what the red girl pretty much embodies. And if I recall, the only way we really beat her was by logicking her against herself.
Yes, that's how A2 does it. Basically, well, is it spoilers to say how actually A2 does it, or?
Go ahead. I mean, we're already talking about spoilers in this
Okay.
discussion anyway.
The thing is, the ego starts spawning clones, and there's a point that it won't stop. And the only way A2 can breach the ego's logic is to stop fighting and simply avoiding, and that completely breaks the ego's thought process because the ego cannot fathom why under attack their foe is not trying to defend themselves, only avoiding, which prompts the ego to self-rip them, all the clones to destroy themselves over a discussion on a logic process. So that's a kind of that whole sequence is really interesting.
It's also interesting to see the music that they chose. For instance, the just the regular battle theme is Emile Despair, from, of course, Nier Automata. There's different versions of Emile too, from Gestalt and Replicant. And they also, afterwards, after they discussed a bit of the Nier raid, showed off a few of the gear sets. They actually played one of my all-time favorite songs, "Kind Salvation," in which I had to go silent for a bit because that hits me really hard.
Yes.
So
there's actually a couple. There's actually a couple of not Nier Automata, but Nier Gestalt Replicant bosses. There's the Jack of Hearts. That's the big tentacle monster, and I think I saw Hansel and Gretel.
Yep, that's Hansel and Gretel. I had to rewatch it, but yes.
We are
for the record, I haven't played Nier, but I watched a playthrough of
And
times.
keep in mind that we have not, and I guarantee you this, we have not seen the final boss of what that raid is yet.
Oh,
Well,
for
of
sure. They're gonna
course.
hold that tight. Like they didn't show us the High Seraph, and I was extremely hyped when I heard that song change.
Yes.
Holy crap!
Oh yeah.
I really hope we get to kill a Watcher.
Yep.
Oh,
This is an XIV community and stream, but near replicant, the 23rd of this month. So if you're interested, I would grab it. I'm definitely gonna.
yes.
Yes, absolutely.
If they release in a Steam, oh my god.
Yeah, they said it's PC, so it's coming.
Yes.
It's good to know.
Anyway, yeah.
Clarify that, but anyway.
But let's see. What else do we have on the near raid? We know that the final boss, of course, is going to have an absurd amount of HP, unless, of course, they mean something else. But most raid
144
bosses,
million.
but I know that most story bosses don't usually have that much.
And before Lunar Bahamut is just like, sup, 440 million HP. Get on my
That'd be something. Well, I mean, we already have bosses that, you do a certain sequence and then takes off a chunk of health, aka Shinryu.
Yes, Matt.
Yasmat, yep.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that's all about Nier then.
I have I'm looking forward to seeing what Nier, like the clothing that they had as well, was another thing.
Beyond
Devla-
Devil and Pablo's and
Yeah.
Anemone's outfit.
I actually do wonder if they're gonna go with some like replicant style gear, or maybe going even as far back as Drakengard.
I want
Given
Kaine's
what's
outfit.
going on.
I want
bells of
some
Drakengard,
Drakengard.
You want Kaine's outfit.
Like- I also I want to highlight something you said in the chat, Foul. That the tower in 14 is a narrative problem.
It is.
I really want to see how they're going to reconcile this, because I think that's been the question
Everything-
everybody's been asking.
Everything I've been told about that tower is apparently making me like go, how the hell do you reconcile something like that?
I have a
I mean,
question
it-
about it
I
actually.
mean, short of it's the same planet, like, but anyway.
Yeah. I have a
Besides
question
that,
because
Go ahead.
I'm a complete and total novice on the Nier stuff. I'm very interested in playing, but simply haven't had the time
You
or the money
should
to grab the game.
It's
definitely
good.
do it.
Well, get time machine. and
casual
I'll get
couch
all
time.
of
Oh, for sure. It's worth it.
I definitely will when I can. But anyway, so the first thing I thought when looking at that was I thought that looks like a what's the name? A space elevator, a connection that lets you just walk up it into space, essentially. Right, wrong, insane. What? Am I
So
anywhere?
in the end of Nier Automata, it's actually a cannon that fires an arc.
Oh, that's not great. It's a very
Right,
low.
but again,
yeah.
it's present on that planet, so
Indeed.
Unless it's something that the machines just do on the planets that they're at. But
true,
I
could
don't.
re-engineer one. For
Yeah.
what reason?
Well,
We can
yeah,
also
you can translocate the fucking crystal tower through time and space.
we can also
Why do
infer
I
about
do?
if you guys go into explore, like if you go and explore the puppet's bunker, actually in the command room, you can see that there is a screen that says the moon base
Mhm.
is online.
Mhm.
So we have thoughts about that too, but we won't know much more until next patch, of course.
Yeah. And I remember in Automata that the androids were convinced, those that were left, was that yes, it was a weapon, but it was a weapon designed to destroy whatever was left of humanity, quote unquote, on the moon.
Mhm.
So yeah.
Yes, yes. I kind of, it's at this point when I actually were near the Hydaelyn Soldier arc can be have some relation, but at this point, which is kind of late, but well, that's how Yoko Taro usually works.
He writes, so the interesting thing about Yoko Taro is that he writes his stories backwards. He writes the ending, and then he writes everything else from there. So a lot of it doesn't make sense, but when you play through it, somehow it all ties together.
Yes, absolutely.
But anyways, moving on from that, what else do we have besides the trailer? We went through Nier, Whirlit. I don't want to go through MSQ until the actual trailer.
The other thing would be digital fan fest, unless you actually care.
I
talk
do
about
kind
that.
of, because there are some things that are going to be going on there that people want to look at and listen to. Specifically, Naoki's room. I wonder what that's going to entail, because he said that there's going to be special guests that are going to be talking about the game, and he's never. It's always been like a live Q&A with like the devs usually, with that. So Naoki's room is something new, and I want to see who all he brings on the show, and whether it's like a kind of like a digital thing where they, have interviews with like Ishikawa or Oda or all
Isn't
the
that
others.
something? It reminds me a lot of what they do on the 14-hour broadcast.
Kind of, and I do miss the 14-hour broadcasts too. They were really funny, like the time they lit up a pineapple when they were all drunk.
Didn't they say that they were going to invite some VAs fest?
Yeah, that's a different segment though.
Oh,
so,
okay.
For anyone who missed it, the Digital Fan Fest will be on May 15th and 16th.
We missed it, actually.
Right?
No.
Question about the dates, though. Do we know what time zone the dates are?
No.
No, they haven't announced like the time, but they announced like day.
It'll be clarified once we get closer, I'm confident.
Yep.
Yeah. So the mounts, minions, and orchestrion roll sets will go on sale on the 14th, so a day before. So if anyone is chomping at the bit to get the lunar whale and the
This is the one
orchestrion
time I'm
rolls
going
like
to splurge.
me, yeah.
Yep.
I just want to know how much it'll cost.
I mean,
Same.
Lunar Whale's gonna be a
Final
lot.
Fantasy
I'm
IV
guessing
has my
30.
soul, so
30 like the Fenrir was at first.
it's not even the best game. It's just my first one, so
Well, I mean, it's certainly one of the ones I've enjoyed from my.
it's
young
really
years.
good. I just mean, like, you can
Gotta
tell,
have
you can
that,
tell the migration, the development between 4, 5, and 6 is obvious, is what I mean.
Yes.
Oh yes.
So
I
in
want that
addition,
Venerian
most
next.
stage events will have English interpretations, so we probably won't have to rely on Discord translations too terribly much during the fan fest. They're
It'll
going to
probably
have...
either be Foxclon or it will be Koji doing it.
Yeah, I remember the last time they had the live translation, it was Matt Hilton and Koji Fox that were doing kind of a separate English stream where they had it running.
Yep.
Yeah. Digital activities online and in-game. So day one, it sounds like the first thing is going to be the keynote address, which I think is, the main thing we all care about.
The most important. If you're going to watch anything during those 2 days, watch the day one keynote address for Endwalker.
Man. Yeah, I watched it for Shadowbringers. I do not regret that time.
I watched it for all 3, for Heaven's War, for Stormblood, for Shadowbringers.
Same.
Do not miss it.
Unless you're just that worried about spoilers, but if you were, you probably wouldn't be in this stream, so it's fine.
They've gotten really good about not spoiling anything in those two.
There's also to remember that probably the keynote for Walker is going to include an extended trailer for 6.0.
Will the full trailer be at?
Yeah.
Yes.
It depends.
Yes.
And then the launch trailer is separate, but it's
that's usually 2 to 4 weeks before the actual expansion drops.
Mm-hmm.
I mean,
Really
it may not be the full trailer.
I do think I'm not sure if it will be the full trailer. I actually agree, because the first we got is a teaser trailer. Then they have the extended, and then they have the. So
well, let me put it.
So
this
they
way.
only did that for Shadowbringers, though.
Yeah,
for
that's what I was gonna
Stormblood
say.
and Heaven's Word, it was either 2 parts or 1 trailer.
Well, whatever they did, it worked, because
Yes.
I wrote on the hype, the Shadowbringers hype, like from the final trailer all the way to launch. I was just excited the whole time.
Yes.
Yeah, so Shadowbringers, they did the 3 trailers instead of the 2 that all previous ones did. And I don't know if that was just specifically a Shadowbringers thing or if that's the precedent going forward.
Well, for Heaven's Word, it was only 1 trailer.
Yeah, that's true.
Go ahead, Meowth.
Nah, it's just I was wondering because they actually said that the second part of 5.5, that is 555, will be after the fanfest, and they said that some of the scenes in Yoshi
The
Beat said that
trailer.
some of the scenes in the trailer for the patch are from 555, which makes me wonder. I mean, it's not that it's stopped them, because remember when Shadowbringers happened, they revealed the Crystal Exarch in the trailer, and the Crystal Exarch happened after?
Yes, because it was at the Tokyo Fan Fest that they revealed the full trailer.
Yes. I mean, it's not impossible, but I mean, if they're this time they're like I say, they're playing under wraps a lot, and I'm not sure. Maybe they're saving the full trailer for when everything's done.
So going back to what Cobron was saying, it was how some of the expansions had 2 trailers. They may have 2 trailers this time just because they are operating under a different type of schedule because of COVID. They
That's
were
what I
able to
think.
make
That's true.
3 because Shadowbringers, they were able to space it out. They were able to have 3 fan fests. They were able to, kind of give you those bits and pieces of information in a very well-timed manner. However, COVID has made it very difficult for them to actually kind of put their media out. So,
Yeah,
That's
I
fair.
also think that the timeline for when we're looking at the expansion to drop, which is probably between late August to early October, we're getting really close to that point we were at for Shadowbringers for that 3rd trailer in May.
Yes, that's true. That's actually true. That just makes me really want. Is it me yet?
Yeah, right.
they too will have
Absolutely.
the letter from the producer live, though. So the first half will be talking about 5.5. Second half will be developer with them to answer questions. So
So
And don't forget, we still have
derailed
the.
so bad, should we just move on?
yeah, so let's go ahead and move on.
I'm happy
just wanna say
start
that
the trailer.
I also
Go ahead.
want to say that there will be likely a media tour to look forward to.
Yes.
That is exciting.
Mhm.
Please look forward to it.
Although, regarding media, like I think I made this complaint before. The the Final Fantasy XIV ads in the U.S. are so cringy, it's
Oh,
ridiculous, and I don't know why we
God.
don't have just the Heaven on High anime trailer would have been fine. What are they doing? Like things like
I mean,
that.
we had the Tom Holland Shadowbringers one. That was perfect.
Yeah, they're diving into the cheesiness, but there's like a real. They could have gone the other way.
Instead, they put everyone's best friend who plays 14 talking to them and trying to get them to play 14.
Yeah, I hate
And
it.
it's just
At
annoying.
least they're on it.
At least it's not the ARR English trailer.
That's
Oh boy.
You shut your whore mouth.
I'm gonna clip that.
Thank you, Emmett.
No, that'll be up on our Lorelines Clips channel. We do record, so
Where's our
we might
Meowth
do
counter?
that.
we should call that channel Lorely.
There she goes. Anyway, trailer time.
In case
All right.
anyone hasn't noticed, you should check the title of our stream today.
Is it correct?
It is.
Yeah.
That's great. All right, I'm gonna start the
You're
trailer.
gonna Get all our
Temporary
crazy theories.
global mute for the initial watch, and then we will put it at whatever speed you want, Bonnie. and
Cool.
We'll open it
Okay.
up.
Peggy 16.
Our adversary moves against us in unprecedented numbers, compelling us to answer in kind. The outlook, in short, is bleak. Yet though our foes are many, and we but few, we may still tip the balance in Eorzea's favor.
Audio.
I'm getting on.
I'm getting audio.
Yeah, having muted sometime.
Given the enemy's capabilities,
Oh,
we will
never
all
mind.
need
I
to
have
play
to
our
mute.
part if we are to have any chance of success. But if any here should give less than their best, it will be to the cost of every living being on this star.
You've got a pretty narrow view of what it means to be a hero, do you know that? You think they're all forged in the fires of battle? That it's all about being brave and killing villains?
I know you would never turn your back on those in need. Never close your eyes to their suffering. What in Ralga's name happened here?
The battlefield's littered with would-be heroes. At this rate, you'll lot be next.
Destroy them! Destroy them all! Don't you dare! We came together and we're leaving together!
While I await you, I shall drink a sea of souls and gorge myself upon the darkened moon.
Sorry about that black screen. I can replay it.
Today is a very, very special
no.
day. We got a
Yeah,
brand new.
Complain about watching.
Yeah,
it
play it again.
Go for it.
All right,
Peggy
I'm
16.
gonna mute us in Discord. I'll just deafen.
Hi,
We'll
Night
also
Sky
see.
Prince.
Our adversary moves against us in unprecedented numbers, compelling us to answer in kind. The outlook, in short, is bleak. Yet though our foes are many, and we but few,
Okay.
we may still tip the balance in Eorzea's favor.
Love ya.
Given the enemy's capabilities, we will all need to play our part if we are to have any chance of success. But if any here should give less than their best, it will be to the cost of every living being on this star.
You've got a pretty narrow view of what it means to be a hero, do you know that? You think they're all forged in the fires of battle? That it's all about being brave and killing villains?
I know you would never turn your back on those in need. Never close your eyes to their suffering. What in Ralga's name happened here?
The battlefield's littered with would-be heroes. At this rate, you'll lot be next.
Destroy them! Destroy them all! Don't you dare! We came together and we're leaving together.
While I await you, I shall
shall drink a sea of souls and gorge myself upon the darkened moon.
So that's
Today
I hope that went
is
well.
a very special day.
There's so much to go into.
That's a trailer.
I mean, there's just so much.
I'm kind of amazed at how much is in that trailer and how little information it gives us.
Well, it gives us a lot. It gives us a lot, in my opinion. I mean, we've got characters giving sass to Estinian. We've got about 5 primals showing up. We've got Kuchulin the Impure as an Esper. There's so much.
We even have.
I want to debunk you there. Nobody is talking to Estinian in that.
The thing I thought was interesting was, like, listening to it, I could even make out that Xenos is actually speaking in poetic prose, essentially, with his little comment there at the end.
That comment is weird, too. It's very different in other languages.
I thought it was weird mainly because I thought I was the one who's going to eat the moon.
The moon is not mentioned in other languages. If there's anything about a sea of star. He talks about his rage and hate and German.
So do we want to go through and pick apart the trailer frame by frame now?
Let's do it.
That would be my recommendation. I mean, it's
Peggy
it's a delay,
16.
It'll be a little hard to tell Foul where to actually pause, but
Let's do it.
I think quarter speed is too slow. But
We can just pause it places we want to pause.
Yep.
yeah, we can try.
Half speed.
If necessary, back up and go slow then.
Mm-hmm.
And you'll definitely want to mute the video. Because it's just horrible playing at slow speed with audio on.
So that looks like a flare going up.
Yeah.
I love that shove. That makes me happy.
Same.
Fuck you, Alpha. No.
A word or two.
So go back a little bit. I'd like to point out that they are in a place where the rocks are actually kind of just floating around.
Yeah, it's Zadnor, which we see later.
Yeah, that's Zadnor. And we see in the photo they showed during the live letter of Zadnor, there are those rocks floating around as well.
Yeah, it's the second. It's like it's not the second area, but we see a lot of areas where it's just like these rocks that are floating around due to, I wouldn't call them etheric disturbances,
Black
but
screen.
like there we go.
That's gonna happen while I fix this.
Okay.
So stop there.
Right before that.
Yeah.
Alfino?
Yes.
Yeah, Alfino is critical. What I see here is him healing, but the soul's already being absorbed.
Or they're already dead, and it's too late. And
watch the pre-scene here. This aura.
Yeah.
And then it cuts to the healing.
The blue that leads into...
That's Bosja.
Yeah.
Yep.
That's MSQ.
So the place around this, it looks like Silver Tier, but I could be wrong.
I think it's Silver Tier.
It could also be Thanalan.
The background kind of gave it away a little bit, but yeah, it could be Thanalan also.
I mean, it could, yeah.
It's not Vilebrand.
No, that's not. Also, there's a moment before. There's a scene with Magitech tank hexagon. I think it's an hexadrone. I think there's a slope that's slightly crystallized, and I think that's more.
Use spacebar to cancel or to pause.
I think that's Mordona.
This strikes me as Bosja, honestly.
Really?
Yeah.
It looks like those.
There's only one shot of Mordona in the whole trailer, and that's at the end with the glowy figure that's driving everyone crazy.
Yeah, Emmett.
It's not.
We'll get to that.
Yeah, we'll get to that. So yeah, that's
here's-
Makoto's ship that's going boom right there.
Yeah, Makoto's exploding right here.
Now, is that? See, this is tough. I can't really place what's going on here. It could be the echo explosion, which we've seen in previous expansions.
So that's the same blue that Lion is staring at.
Yes.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So I mean, obviously something is going on, but
And we already know Lion's
that's
loyalties are wavering.
Yes,
And I think when he sees that, that'll be it.
I think
And
it's
then-
Shroud.
I'm not sure. I think that's
Nah.
That is also a Garlean uniform.
Yeah, he's healing on
Yes.
Imperial.
And I wonder who could it be that he would be so upset. I don't think it would be like an enemy soldier, and I'm scared that it's Maxima.
Doesn't match the uniform though. That's like
Looks like a regular
an
soldier.
Imperial robe, and Maxima wears an armor suit.
Yeah, Maxima's defected unless he's actually like gone undercover. Because as far as I know, Maxima is a part of the Alamegan regiment.
Still, if the Garleans, well, we know how is Garlean to be like in Endwalker. If the Garleans,
Pause there. There's a crystal in the background.
When you say there, my play is 7
Right
seconds
before he
ahead of you.
punches.
Okay. Yeah, just describe where you want.
Back up just a little bit. There, in the background, right beneath the formation.
Yeah.
There's a blue crystal.
I see it.
That's the wreckage of a ship by the shape of it. The crystal is this orangish
No,
stuff back there.
look below. I just backed it up. You'll see it here. It's tiny around his navel of the soldier.
Oh, I see it.
Yep.
well, that doesn't surprise me too much because if you pay attention on a frame by frame of all the Cartno scenes in this trailer, there's
And there are a lot.
There's a
crap
castrum
load
up to the
of
right.
braziers, whatever. I can never say that word right.
Just say brazier.
Brazier.
No, not zier. Not a bra.
But anyway, some of them
Did somebody
have
ha-ha?
orange flames and the other ones have blue flames. That's probably what you see in the background that's blue.
All right, I'm gonna progress past the
logo. Yeah.
So is this the ship? The El Riata?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
Dalriata?
Dalriata, yep. It's massive. Absolutely massive.
Look at this
I'm gonna
beautiful.
refresh the stream
It's
because, like, I'm
so-
apparently way desynced.
I'm glad we were fortunate enough to catch it while it was docked.
I wonder how many more of those we might see in the Empire's capital, or what's left of it.
Probably
Fran
none.
is on the left if you let it move forward a little bit.
Right there, yep. Right. Actually, you can see her right there.
Yeah.
To- right to the
Oh, yeah,
left.
there's her hair.
Center
Yeah,
left.
there she is.
Yep.
These are players.
I didn't notice anyone else of note.
I've noticed the Banga.
These look like players to me.
Yeah.
Well,
I
yeah, the
noticed the
ones
Banga in the
running
background,
towards
yeah.
the ship are, but on the sides, it's NPCs.
I'm not seeing anyone else in these cuts so far. Another Scorpion tank.
Yep, Scorpion tank.
There's the
This
Meteor.
this is inside it, yeah.
As a note, Yoshi P mentioned they had to
There's Kukulane.
they had to Kukulane, yeah. They had to put like a shit ton of battle scenes because either way there would be spoiling too much of this.
Yeah.
All the time.
What are the flags? Go back to the flags in that room.
Oh, I was just saying something about that in chat. The flags seem to evoke his design to me. I see the central on his belly just stretched upward.
Yep, right there.
That's his belly actually. I mean his symbol in his belly.
The symbol in 12.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No.
It's the tattoo on
Actually,
his stomach.
no.
That's a tattoo on his stomach. I'm sorry. That's what I meant.
Scarification. on his stomach
Yes.
more
Yes.
accurately.
Fine.
Looks like a mouth.
Well,
Or,
I do hope that Cuculain uses the scorpion tail he has him hidden inside, and his back opens, and the flesh opens, and that's the scorpion, the massive scorpion tail comes out, and that's his ultimate attack into
I really hate that.
It's the Oogie Boogeyman from Nightmare Before Christmas.
So
Just
here
that.
we have Alize and Grahatia using
That's
the
a
familiar,
nath.
Untempering the Vath.
untempering the Vath.
Yeah.
Well, it's a nath. The bath are the untempered.
Vanu Vanu.
The non-mind. This is a nath. This is one of the one. Well,
Way to tell what part is because the other ones wear green, this one's wearing orange. However,
Exactly.
otherwise they look the same. And it's not impossible. Our friendly ones could get wonkied by whatever's going on here. We just don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And here we
In
see
the back.
Graha not even looking at what's going on.
Well,
Yeah.
Graha's worried
He's
about
dealing
the
with
Vanu
the Vanu.
Vanu.
Yeah.
Wait a second, he'll kneel down by him.
He's like, Burb, friend.
I also love how much ether they expend on just one person per
Mm-hmm.
using this.
Take a moment and look at those beacons too while we're here.
Yes.
Orange.
And
That's
this is Partno
Cardinal.
again.
Oh,
He fires
yeah.
that color. No, sorry.
Well, we see a couple others of
My
these
attempt at a
beacons and
joke.
other. I didn't understand. I'm breaking up a little.
Well, yes.
Fire is orange, guys.
Yes.
Fire is also
Yes, it-
hot. Interestingly,
I'll
there in the
die if
background,
it
if you
goes
see
too.
the
Yeah.
if you see the
lights.
blue dots, you can see that's actually there in Cartano.
They're in the
I
same
managed to
place.
catch
Yeah,
some
this is
screenshots.
Cardinal.
Yeah.
I caught some screenshots from the summoner quests when you go there,
Yep.
and
yep.
it's the same location.
Yeah.
So they're in Cartano then.
So they're driving, or something is driving the beast tribes into Cardinal then?
Well, if the lesser lunar primals all like go together into lunar Bahamut, I mean, it could make a certain sort of sense. That's just guesswork.
Or if the lunar primals can hijack tempering of their counterparts.
Or if the lunar primals can just go ahead and temper.
Yeah. Yeah, the
Well,
beast
there's
tribes
some
would be
other
easy
stuff
targets.
in the trailer that makes me think this may be like more than just tempering bullshit.
I mean, if the primals are, I mean, the lunar primals, we still don't know, but is it safe to say that they're Terminus beasts?
No.
No.
Not yet.
Okay.
Not yet.
Okay.
No, it's not.
Fair
Actually,
enough.
we haven't talked about this because I've been kind of AFK this week, but I kind of view... So just as we've talked about Zodiark and Heidelin and Azam being a moon theme or a sun themed character, this kind of thing, the lunar primals and the what primals? Solar is regular. So I'm wondering if they're just like different aspected versions of the same base image.
And that's actually a really good point because I believe they're umbrally charged. What if these are
Right.
astrally charged?
Right. So it's just curious. So my thought on this, and I should have brought this up during the week, is essentially if we go back to 2.0 and La Habrea's discussions of why we're summoning primals, it's to drain Heidelin's batteries. So maybe these primals use Zodiark's batteries instead.
Well, shit.
Wow.
That's unfortunate.
I mean, it's in 1.0 trailer when we actually see the primals kind of escaping Silvertear Lake. So, if I recall correctly.
If so, even if that's symbolic, when did these primals symbolically escape the moon?
Probably when
Anyway, I thought you'd find that fun.
Probably when Fandaniel went and took the keys now that they were no longer being guarded by the Unsundered.
I was gonna say that one of the piles is just gonna get yeeted off the surface of the planet and spear the moon.
Oh god.
5.5.
Also, something,
Can we-
the final key, Heaven's Word.
Can we
Yeah.
please leave Zodiac alone? I mean,
Every time you alt tab, the screen goes dark.
I can't control that.
How dare you quote Igium?
We're gonna have to save Zodiac from one of his own minions.
I have a feeling Fandaniel was never
You
really
just
his minion.
sneeze out a quarter.
I'm progressing the video.
More Zadnor.
That was
Yep.
that was the battlefield with view of. Yep. So this
You
robot.
know-
Interest.
Let's see.
It is interesting that they do a thing where they layer MSQ lines over the Zadnor stuff,
Mhm.
so it makes it a little more confusing, harder
Yep.
to detangle. It's
Yeah.
That's been kind of
because
a
obviously
standard
everything
thing
away.
for them for a while. Sorry.
Enemy model. Kind of look like something you
It's
Recognize
It's not the
claws.
it's not the construct, but
It reminds me of the little robot spaceships from Batteries Not
Hey, that was
Included.
not convincing. Hey, animation. You see that nonsense? You'll see
There's Baggy.
that's
not how jumping works, guys.
Yep, there's the manga.
All right, Leon here.
Yeah, that's Leon. He still uses the mix of axe and shield. I
Call
think
me
that's-
Leon.
Get
Okay,
out.
he's knocking away an
Yeah.
Alamigan soldier, so yeah, this is when he's still part of the fourth.
I also think the blue explosion is going to be very early Zadnor.
She's using powers here. See?
Oh, like the one she
Trying
used
to
in
shield
DR.
it.
Yeah.
So there's a spot that I want to freeze on for Bosnia stuff, but it's not until a little bit later when the ship is actually flying towards
So-
the E3.
Go back to the airship with the bubble.
Yep. So she's using this, it seems. I don't know.
Yeah, that's
It's her ability.
identical to the one Ishtola put up in ARR when we were escaping Castrum.
Castrum Sentry.
But
Castrum
enormous.
Sentry.
In before Makoto replaces Ishtola.
By virtue of that airship, do you think Sid is going to be there?
Possible. He's already in the Bosnia
Yeah, I would
research. So.
I would say very possible. Yeah. Yeah, white mages don't even have bubbles anymore.
I mean, sorta.
Yeah, kind of, but not the
It's
shield.
a little more. It's a little more reminiscent of something an astrologian can do.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but Mikoto plays as a conjurer, so well.
Okay,
So
there's
is
What did
that.
it follow when
Is
she
she
was
wide
using the
area?
fucking bubble?
Is she wide area heal over time bubbling the entire battlefield?
It's possible, but I don't know. It's the same color as
Or is she
a cure
absorbing
spell.
souls? Look at the energy going towards the center.
Looks like it's going away.
So that blue isn't from Mikoto.
That's Save the Queen.
Save the queen here.
Well, we don't know if it saved the queen either. We know it's something, but it's not Mikoto.
Oh, this sword, I mean.
Oh, okay.
That's
Well, as far as we know, because at the end we know, spoiler by the way, we know that they recover Save the Queen.
We still haven't talked about that, guys. I'm gonna just drop it here. Has everyone on the team finished the raid?
Yes.
Yes.
The final
Yep.
scene of the raid is just kidding, the queen is still there. Did you catch it?
Yes.
Yep.
What's going on, guys?
Mm-hmm.
Someday I'll get there. Keep spoiling me until I do.
Sorry.
No, I want the spoilers. I'm requesting spoilers because I simply just don't have the time.
Gotcha. We'll get you there.
Yep.
Yarn on Crystal, you
Or
won't.
we'll spoil it for you.
Yeah, that's
That
true.
will do.
I'm on Crystal.
There, go do it.
Let's do stuff together.
All right, let's keep going.
Yeah, because I shouldn't go on a tangent about Save the Queen right now, or we'll spend a
We'll be
30 minutes.
That'll be for another stream of Posture segment.
Another teaser.
This thing about this scenario, I actually commented before for Dola.
Alright.
I actually commented 2 days ago. I think it was 2 days ago. Yeah. The background of this. No, not Save the Queen. The background here, the cables and stuff. That looks really curious. I mean,
That's inside the.
I know. I understand that probably inside of the Dalriada, but it's just the pattern that just maybe it's the combination of the color and the strange purple gear, but there's something weird.
It's of Guardian design, guys.
It is though. So this. Oh boy. I'll wait.
Here we go.
Oh my god, she had to walk away from
Good. All right. So that allows me to speak. So we know that Gabranth was researching Gugian tech in the Evil East raids. So this strikes me. It's obviously Gugian. Yeah. Gaugian.
Gugian.
Gugan.
I think it's supposed to be Gugan.
Anyway, it's obviously a giant Magitech construct, but it also looks exactly like if you hybridized that with a Construct 8 and massive energy pipes, and that strikes me as like a Magitech version of a Gugan gear. So.
Yep. I do want to take a moment to expound on the colors. I find those colors noteworthy as well, very specific, because if you see Lunar Bahamut in light, or if you see it later with some of the other lunar primals, they combine this purple glow with a very similar green to that.
Yeah.
That exact color scheme.
No, Roxas, she's never okay. She makes herself laugh.
There's my favorite anti-hero.
I'm still stuck on the Gugians because I'm just imagining.
Stop it. Bonk.
The Garuvians is where Gulas came from.
I hate you.
You did this.
Actually, that's true.
Slain.
And now a break for our sponsors.
Fatality. This stream is
Now, you might have to mute so we can actually talk.
So here we have
I'm putting volume back on.
Highlander wife.
Just for a moment, full speed, and I'll back it back up.
Even killing villains. But it's all about being brave and killing.
Look, she's talking the words. Estinian's right there.
Villains.
So yes, but it's not lip sync.
But it's all about being brave and killing
Very
villains.
common thing that they do, where they will
You think
put
they just lip sync
lines.
there?
Yes, absolutely. If you remember back to the Shadowbringers launch trailer, Emmett Selk was telling us about Hydaelyn and Zodiark while he was standing in Amarot, and that never happened in the actual game.
I don't remember that. I will have to.
I would like to get the reference.
Saying the line we got from him, excellent. I had intended to speak with you alone. He speaks that down in Amarot, yet we see him saying, I shall destroy you, soul and all, or whatever.
Yeah.
They do
this
constantly.
all the time.
Yep.
Yeah,
I am almost entirely certain it's speaking about Graha.
I'm sure. I'm
Graha's
convinced it's
character
are
development.
involved, but
I think it's are involved if it's not Estinian.
yeah.
Given that they're in a squad fam together in the dungeon. We'll get to that.
See, I think it's the line from where Fordola is giving Alphino a shove.
Totally possible. So this
Like,
is
there's
where
a
we're
lot
at.
of characters it can apply to, is the thing.
Near.
Yeah, but see,
Which is probably why they chose to use it.
Exactly.
Alphino already knows, though, that being a hero is not just about being on the battlefield.
He still has a lot of lingering naivete, though, and it looks like he gets really distraught about something. in the MSQ.
There's
so I
Hansel
could
and
see them
Gretel.
getting
Regarding
all
Nier,
down
really
to-
quick, one thing that is helpful to note, perhaps, is that the way this battlefield is designed, if you've played Nier, means that you are currently in hacking mode. So this tower doesn't necessarily have to exist on...
It's in 9S's mind.
Right, so this is probably internal and not physical, but it's
Yeah,
really
but
cool.
when we do see the tower a little bit later, I'll call it up. The bunker is there as well.
Yep.
Gonna progress it.
All I know is they introduced a math boss in the Evil Easter raid, so now they're
do we
going
think
to
about
have
this
this
monster?
hacking mid boss fight.
Is this something I missed in Nier, or is it a Draken?
This is Gestalt.
This is Gestalt.
I think this is Gestalt, yeah.
Gestalt, actually. But yeah.
I didn't play.
This is
that
the
game. I
this is
missed it.
the
That's why I'm excited for the release in a couple weeks.
He's actually in the trailer for Gestalt. If you want to look at it sometime,
I'll check it out
He's
later.
actually in it. Yeah.
It's the Jack of Hearts. It's if I recall correctly, it's the shade that attacks Nier and his hometown and forces Kaine to turn
Yeah, in the actual when he was actually in the live letter when Yoshi P was showing it off, its name I could translate because I minorly know Japanese, but it translated to Jaku. So yes, you are not far off from that.
Yeah, so here we have the shot of the tower and the bunker.
And we've got both of the squad fam with us.
Yep.
9S 2B. Yep.
Which all this tells me is that the tower is gonna come up out of the ground.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah.
Maybe it's similar to the Lunar Towers.
And remember, you can see. Remember back to the copied factory. You can see the copied factory if you go high enough from Calusia, and it's been replaced with the puppet's bunker as well. You can see it if you go high enough. So that thing is going to be massive, and you will probably be able to see it from the ground now.
Yeah, definitely from Mulemore.
I wonder what Yulmore is gonna think when they see that thing.
They'll probably think it's not any bigger than what Vothri did, so...
Yeah, Julia's probably going to say something about, oh, what a wonderful thing they built over there.
It's like that city under the sea just over yonder.
Oh, what a wonderful thing.
I have a question though. Do you think A2 is going to appear because we have Nanes?
I don't suspect it, but I wouldn't mind seeing it.
I wouldn't mind either, but I don't think we will because that would just complicate things rather than add to anything.
I mean, technically,
that's an over mechanic.
In Nier Automata, there's 3 protagonists. It's 2B, 9S, and
Play
A2.
it multiple times for the real ending.
Yes.
Dendrobian.
Yep. I mean, it's literally. I put a side-by-side comparison. It's literally the same model.
Is it?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
That's the Tower of Pagelfan, yeah? Well,
minus the giant spike. I mean, the spike is smaller, but it's still there.
Yeah, it's more of a lance on the side, isn't it?
Yep.
So I have thoughts about the tower here. I'm relatively certain this is not the tower that we think we see in Southern Thanalan. So it could be the same tower that we see from Southern Thanalan, but if it is, then that indicates that they're just like, screw it, we're not updating via out-of-bounds textures in Southern Thanalan.
I see
because
things.
There's grass.
You do?
Yeah, I see things. So I see a few things here. I see that it's actually, we're on a ridge, and there's a sloping mountainside on the right-hand side. I see the sunset and the clear sky, and on the right-hand side, I see I see a Beast Tribe standard.
Yep.
This.
I don't see a red glyph on the front of the tower.
I was going to say what Nayla said, that I think this is the other side of that tower we've been seeing, because that does look like the ridge in Southern Thanalan to me.
Well, the ropes are different, but that standard, is that Amalja, or is that the weird lizard people?
That is definitely an instance.
The other ones.
The other standards, I think they're Amalja.
It should be Amalja because Paglafan is their homeland.
This is going to be a massive instance. Probably one of their biggest, if not the biggest.
Yeah. And we thought Heroes Gauntlet was big.
Why is Alize happy?
So she's in Oz's Law here, and the
Yeah.
texture of the particles
see
you
it.
see around her is the same as what is around Tiamat, just in a slightly different color. She's also glowing the way she glows when people infuse her with ether.
Mhm.
So I'm speculating that here she is receiving power from Tiamat.
Nice.
Yeah,
The crystals behind the
or
crystals
Tiamat.
behind her. Okay.
Go ahead.
No, that the crystals behind her are the ones found in the quadrant where Tiamat is
Yeah,
held,
those-
and
Yeah.
Antithesis, or
The trees
whatever
also.
it's pronounced.
So I don't necessarily think she summons Tiamat Banana. I think she is going to free her, and I think
I agree.
Estinian's going to be the one that convinces her to come out.
I agree. The world is ending, all right?
Yeah.
And that
And
is what
it's-
she said to
And I
Rick
point
Earl.
out that
Yo,
This is
Bahamut's
Venus.
free. Can you come kick him down for us?
Yeah.
If there was ever
He's
going to
back.
be a time for you to atone yourself, now would be the time.
Yes, exactly.
Got Diamond here. Coming up. You'll see it shortly.
Juicy.
That's the wrong word, guys.
Juicy.
God
I lick his
damn it,
eyeballs.
Bonnie.
Juicy.
I,
These are
Yeah, I
probably
hate this
rockets
thing.
from the G Warriors.
You already hate it?
Giant.
I
Platform.
already hate it.
How about that kick, though?
Yeah,
know what,
let's
though?
just-
Cool.
You know what, though?
just-
Look, Cobron, think New Zeal. It's a
Okay.
it's a shitty New Zeal.
Okay, I can live with that.
So the cloud deck.
back in the clouds.
Yeah, we're on
That's
top
a-
of the Dendrobium stamen.
There
Yeah,
we go.
that side. Look at those weapons too. While you're at it, those gotta be the diamond weapon.
They look pretty
Yeah.
cool.
They
'Cause
look-
they have eyeballs too for the
Yeah, they
Uh,
weird me out. I don't like it.
I love it.
Cobron hates everything about Diamond Weapon confirmed.
No, it's just Whirlet.
I mean,
It had
that's how
such
I
a-
feel about the near raids. So.
Like it had
fine.
such a, it's had such
There's a
good
stack
start.
mechanic. Get in it.
Yeah, I saw someone yesterday, just yesterday, run from a stack marker. It was awesome. Just running out solo.
Also looks like there's a way to hop back and forth once the platform divides. I'm guessing that's what those circles
Bouncies.
observe.
Barrel roll, kicks laser or kicks missile.
Yeah, that's the
Get
bouncy
out.
platforms. Lasers,
Yep. Sorry.
gunblade.
Oh, there's a
Dark
that's a
Knight,
jump. You see that?
Yeah.
machinist.
So my question is, if this is a platform we built, why doesn't the diamond weapon just destroy the platform?
We're literally on top of the ship,
Yeah,
We're
just
just
target the ship.
right?
Like, why does the boss cast Enrage at the start? Well, that would make sense.
Why does the
Can't-
enemy do exactly what they shouldn't do, and we end up winning?
So here, I forgot her name. The last orphan
Ali.
of Gaius, Ali. Yeah. I'm convinced she's chained up in there, and the thing is just on autopilot.
Wait,
Like,
wait,
she's
wait,
not
wait, 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 wait,
controlling
wait.
it at all.
Alphonse is the person who should be in there. Ali is with us.
That's
in
right.
Turncliff.
Should.
She's-
Should.
Oh, so
Why,
is
I-
she in the G Warrior then?
Maybe in the G Warrior.
No, because watch what happens to her.
Yeah.
I think trying
She
to get
doesn't
it
look
started.
happy.
No, no,
I
not,
think
it's
they're
not just
trying to
happy.
steal
It's
Yeah, that's
No,
what I
she's
think.
trying to get it, and it's not.
yeah.
I think they're gonna steal it or try and fail.
Do you guys
left the
actually?
safety lock on, and she can't steal the G Warrior?
Gaius putting a bullet in Valen's head.
Please.
In the cockpit.
Please.
Yeah.
Straight out of Mobile Suit Gundam Seed. Just the giant chest cannon.
No, it's Gundam X right there.
That's part of giant mega particle cannon.
So this is where Estinian joins the team, I guess.
Yes, finally.
Trust.
So
Trust?
this is
Estinian,
probably-
Trust is
Estinian the
coming,
Scion.
Yeah, trust is coming. So I think that's what this is.
He can do no wrong.
Estinian as Scion.
Mm-hmm.
Fordola as Scion.
Yes.
I've been calling
Well,
that since Stormblood. That's a
really-
given.
See, that's what we were talking about earlier, because
pause on the Garlean shit in Poglathan.
Mm-hmm.
there.
Paglathan, whatever.
Poglathan.
Paglathan. It's in the southern Thanalan.
Thanalan.
Yeah, so
Oh
those
my
are definitely
God.
Amolja standards.
Yeah, just wanted to make sure because the weird, what are they called?
The Mamulja, they're from 11.
No, not the other lizard tribe.
The Ixal?
Mamulja. Mamul, not Amulja.
The guys in
Mamulja.
Wanderer's Palace Hard.
Mamulja. Mamulja.
That's it.
Yeah.
One has an A, one starts with an F.
I'm fairly certain they're supposed to be from the Southern Islands.
Yeah.
No, they're from New World.
They're from the
Yeah.
New World.
Yeah,
That's
they're
interesting.
they're
Blue
originally
Mage.
from Final Fantasy 11 in the Treasures of Ot Urgan expansion.
Yeah.
And for the longest time, I really wished that I could just make my character as a Mamulja.
Yeah, they're
Same.
pretty cool looking.
Wanted to do the bathing dance?
Yes, yes.
That fate.
I just did that. It was amazing.
All right, so Imperials.
Yeah, so when
some
and
Predator
why
on that
and why
shack.
the fuck and when the fuck did this get built there?
Well,
I'd like to know that
Empire.
too.
I mean,
My initial
Empire.
guess is it's protecting the tower, but I genuinely don't know.
Yes, because the tower is Garlean design.
That doesn't mean they didn't throw it up, because those things appeared fast, according to the stats.
Also,
No, you
He
gotta
was like,
say-
did I
if-
lose my mind?
Well, wait. If you look at this fence, it's very small. You can see the back of it.
Yeah.
So whatever they're protecting is very, very small.
Well, I mean, this is like an outpost where they, attack
Right.
anyone who comes out or whatever. They're
Maybe it's
approaching
an
the tower. Quick,
amplifier.
stop them, man.
Yeah. Amplifier, tempering beacon, who knows?
There's that Sahagin that Ayumi noticed.
Very out of place. I believe I did, but yeah. very
Yeah,
out
I
of
was
place
like,
dog.
you're pretty far away from your habitat, you know.
Yeah. Not normal.
It's a little bit more to the left from where you paused.
Also Terraflare.
Terraflare.
Oh.
Yeah.
You're correct. That is Terraflare. Crap.
Yeah, that
Right
means-
there.
Really? You didn't
I was busy
notice?
looking at the
Well,
body.
they have Lunar Bahamut, so.
Makes sense.
Yeah, interesting. Because it did a
Yeah,
purple
so-
fire thing before.
I'm thinking that
Can
we
you hide
unite the
our
beast tribe.
trees for a second, just so that
Yeah.
the Sahagin is actually visible.
Right
Oh,
there.
true.
See.
Actually, on the topic of uniting the beast tribes, what Ralban says near the beginning, I believe, is him exhorting the beast tribes to not be cranky at the races of man for being crappy to them this whole time and be like, yeah, we're all gonna die, so let's play nice. He's not wrong. He's
That
not
is,
wrong.
yeah.
Fair enough.
I think by this point we'll have assembled a coalition, including
Yeah.
Tiamat, to go head to head with the.
So we're gonna have like all the tribes, all the dragons, super coalition of Eorzea.
Mhm.
So I had a thought about Tiamat since Heaven's Word, honestly, which is,
Go ahead.
frankly, it looks like she could break the damn thing herself, and I think it's self-penance, and she's not really being held captive.
Oh, I agree.
Like,
Isn't
we
that
don't,
tells
we might
us that,
convince
yeah.
her, but she's just gonna
She-
extend her arms, and that's it.
I was under the impression, because Midgard Stormer is like asking about this very question of her in Heaven's Ward, is like, can't you just leave? Like, haven't you suffered long enough? And she's like, I could leave anytime I want, but I choose to stay here because I feel shitty.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I seem to recall that being outright said.
Yeah.
I didn't recall it being stated, but that was definitely my impression.
Also, there's a coalition of dragons. I'm surprised it's Tiamat leading. Well, not surprised. It's just that ever since they've used Razorgirl instead of Tiamat for dragonkind. So
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah,
She's
but
one of
last
the
time
seven.
we used Grace Valkyrie got his ass kicked and lost a wing. So
I hate when that
Well,
happens.
that's
See
not
Tiamat
the,
leading any
that's
dragons
not
there,
the
though.
last time Razorgirl came in to rescue us from the Dimensional Rift.
That was
was
Midgard
Midgard
That was
Stormer, and that's why
Midgard
he's
Stormer.
out. That's why he's out.
Daddy helped and went back to sleep.
No,
Papa
no, no,
Dragon.
no. He Stormer asked.
oh, you mean at the
Razorgirl
very
too.
end?
Yeah,
Oh,
the
yes.
very, very end.
That was just to pick us up, though. That wasn't really.
That's a
That's
ride.
right.
That's not a fight. That's a ride.
Yeah, can I give you a taxi ride?
Hey, speaking of taxi ride, did you see what could be the entrance into Paglathon with looks like the Warrior Darkness riding on a drake of some sort and Tiamat flying ahead?
Yes, those look like definitely
guess we'll get to
brood wyverns.
Yeah,
Hard
like
to know if they're
I
if they're
want to
hers.
talk
I don't
about
think she
that
has
part when
children.
we
I
get
think
there.
she's solo at the moment. I mean, this could be we see both.
She
Brood siblings.
had a brood.
She
Had.
had.
Bahamut. Well,
She
there's
had,
no.
but
I mean, are they all gone?
We don't know.
Are
her
like-
brood is she Bahamut, where they roosted, kind of a word,
That's a good word.
in Moracidia. So either her brood is the dragons we see in coils, or she has still some brood alive in Moracidia. Maybe
Hard to
she
say.
can.
Yeah, but I was imagining we might even see Hraesvelgr again. I mean, maybe we're riding his
which-
drakes and she's coming to the party because we see her use some moves here coming up.
Yeah, which Hraesvelgr, thanks to Aspirian Terra, is now nicknamed Jim. So I'm just going to call Hraesvelgr Jim now.
No.
All right, so this
Lunar
section
Ifrit.
with Graha and Alizé, there's some really interesting things of note. For one, this is where I started noticing that there's blue beacons in the background, because you can make them out
Yes, I see.
in the shots.
The crystals.
At the start
But-
and then at the end.
I'm just backing up to pause properly.
Those Garleans don't look like they're
it
having a
looks very
hot time.
crystal to me. It doesn't look like fire.
I think
sorry,
it's not
Bonnie.
fire.
It just doesn't look like fire. It looks like crystal.
It looks like crystal.
I agree.
The smaller ones in the bottom
Watch it
left,
with the-
for sure, but the bigger one
No,
higher,
the
I
bigger
can't tell.
The bigger higher up one doesn't move the way fire does.
That's right. You can look at the effects on the orange fire.
But
I
the
think
other
it's- I
thing
think
that I
it's
think is
crystals.
important to note here is they're fighting Garlands and they're doing the like tempered zombie waddle dance bullshit.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The Garleans don't look exactly sane.
They're being puppeteered.
I also want to point out that Graha's being a paladin, so we don't need Thancred anymore, so...
He's an all-rounder.
How dare you?
He does all the stuff.
By the way, in the background is I'm not sure. This could be either.
No, I confirmed the background.
custom-
I
You
confirmed the
think-
background. That tower there, I found it in Cartano. It's in our screenshots, Shannon.
That's in code.
That's right.
That's Carton.
I found
okay. Okay.
Yeah, all of the parts where it's the nighttime sky and they're
overcast.
fighting either, you know, the Garleans, or they're trying to heal a Garlean, or they're doing tempering bullshit, or they're fighting lunar primals, except for this scene. All of them are.
Yeah, that's in the tower.
Yeah, that has to be inside of power.
So we're going to be in a duty in Cardno, so that we know.
Yep.
Yeah.
And I want to also point out that they have Graha change weapons partway through the trailer, so I'm like, okay,
Level 80 trust.
shouldn't be a
auto-leveled.
dungeon.
Mm-hmm.
It's got to be a dungeon. Yeah.
I was going to say it can't be a dungeon.
Really?
Yeah, it would be a solo duty or an RP instance, I'm pretty sure.
Could also be they ran
This-
the dungeon on different classes and had him fill in.
Yeah.
This scene,
unless
I
it's
think,
like
is...
it'd be a really long dungeon if it is all the Cartnos.
I mean, they could
from
just
that.
be illustrating
Yeah.
that he's an
I don't know.
all-rounder and queuing different
Ooh.
times. I don't know.
Moving toward the night being
Go ahead,
default.
everyone.
I was just saying, I'm convinced that this scene and Fordola and Arnvold's excursion is going to be in 5.5,
Mm-hmm.
not 5, or 5.55, not...
The lighting here is not the lighting of the night. It's the afternoon, late evening lighting of orange.
Well, here I think we're inside the tower.
Yes.
Yes,
I
we
see.
are inside.
We're
and
certainly in something like what we saw in the concept art for 6.0 with all the
Mm-hmm.
diamonds and the Tonga heads.
And we know that Arnvold and Fordola have already killed Ifrit, so...
Yeah.
This should
I'm
be
interested
fun.
in that control panel that's in the back.
Yep.
So
That's Bosja.
here with the ship getting shot at, I'm not 100% sure if it's the Ifrit that's, or the Dalriada that's shooting at the ship. That red circle spiky animation that actually shot it out looks really familiar to me, but I can't place it.
It's a summoner attack, I
That's
think.
Cartno.
Gotta
Is it?
be. I feel like I've seen Cartno a few
That's-
times here.
That's-
No. The Dalriada is right in the background on there.
No. I'm still looking at the Ifrit part.
Oh,
Yeah, that's Bosja right there.
Yeah, so see that red circle? Like, that looks so familiar. It's driving me insane, but I can't place it.
I feel
I
like
see
that's
what
a
you mean.
summoner spell, or at least the base of one.
Okay, now I'm at the part where you're looking at.
You're talking about the glyph, the circular
Yeah,
glyph.
the glyph.
Yeah.
I'm coming back to it. It's right in the foreground of the airship after you see it here.
Yeah, like,
Well,
I
it's like
almost
a part of
wonder...
the way that was-
I almost wonder if it's from an Esper
there.
I
going
think
to
it might
the
be,
area.
given the size.
Like, it could just be, you know, the ship or defenses outside the ship shooting, but it's going to drive me crazy until I see it in game.
It reminds me of Dark Knights, of some of the Dark Knights.
Shadow Wall.
effects.
It's
Lunar
I know
Odin,
that
another
about-
trust dungeon. We see Urianger here.
Yeah, Urianger, Thancred, and Ishtolar are here fighting the,
This
Lunar
is
Odin.
Lunar Odin.
There's that tower thingy again,
Mm-hmm.
or another like it. Didn't they say something about a new PvP mode?
Don't you dare.
I said tower defense game.
Oh, God.
Tower defense game. Oh my god.
Okay, we got towers. We're all set up. We just got to contest them with Thin Daniel.
So
Here-
we're fighting
Here the player is fighting dragons.
Yeah, so I have some thoughts about the dragon.
Tiamat on the left.
Just real quick.
Yeah.
Well, I'm curious if the dragon is actually tempered. I don't recall if we see tempered dragons in the game during any of it. But
It's
also...
complicated. The closest thing we've seen tempered dragons are when in the Dragoon quests, Orankai, the dragonet that accompanies Estinian afterwards. But Orankai explains that his mother had to flee to the Far East. She was Belfornir's partner, and she had to flee because when Nidhogg called for his brood to start warring, she didn't want to be part of it. So she had to leave and fly really far away to escape her brood father's influence. That's the closest thing we've seen regarding a dragon's tempering. That there seems to be something about their brood parents that binds them to their will, maybe.
Alright,
To
the
some
other thing that I
extent.
was
Yeah, go
going to
ahead. Go ahead,
say-
Bonnie. Let
Yeah,
Bonnie
the other
talk.
thing that I was going to say is we know that the Void Scent, sometimes, you know, when you see this kind of dragon model, but it's technically like decrepit and rotting, that is the case of like a Void Scent being summoned into the corpse of a dragon. I'm wondering if this is something similar with Terminus beasts or even just another Void Scent where it's something being summoned into a dragon's corpse.
Whatever the case, it seems like Tiamat is like against it. So that's like,
Well, I should think if it's the corpse thing, she would be pretty pissed off about that, yeah?
You'd see holes in the... Normally you see holes in the wings with that model. Though.
But Game Lore Geek said in channel, is this other dragon possibly a member of Bahamut's brood?
Possible. Well...
I mean, we know they can control their brood. We don't know if Lunar Bahamut's similar enough, but it does seem possible. That's a good thought.
Well, Bahamut's brood he had his brood together with Tiamat. Shouldn't be the
Dragons
same.
won't reproduce sexually; they reproduce asexually.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Fao, how
They
much
were-
time do you have left?
But they didn't.
I think we can... I'm not trying to rush the stream, but I think we can finish up in 30 minutes.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. I just wanted to make sure it wasn't 10, because if it was 10, I was going to say to start
Swap it
skipping like Bosnia and
No.
any of that other
I
shit.
want to discuss
I think we
Lunar
can finish this
Ravana. I
up,
mean,
yeah.
we can punch through these.
Yeah.
And
Like, I'm not
waste, I don't want to ruin anybody's experience. Just Primals is Primals. It's just a hype train.
It is the hype train. It's very hype. I'm
Alright,
very
so
excited.
here's the wyvern that we're riding. You'll see it in a second. Riding it out to this tower, which is so big.
Invisible red.
Yeah,
I
the plains
think
of
Sun is
Tiamat-
setting.
Yeah, Tiamat is on the front.
Tiamat's front, yep.
Tiamat's up front, and we're riding a wyvern.
Yeah, I can't tell if Estinian is on Tiamat's back there, but in the next scene, he is on Tiamat's back.
I think I see a lance, but you couldn't really distinguish.
It's kind of hard, yeah. Also, there's a lot of dead bodies down there.
So
littered with would-be heroes.
Another important note with this scene, in my opinion, with the tower, is the other dragons in the sky. There's at least 15. They're flying away from the tower, not towards it, so I'm 99% sure they're not on our side.
Attack mode.
So the tower is basically getting everything at hand.
Actually, hold on a second. Oh wait, never mind. That was Tiamat's wings. I'm dumb. Never mind.
I have slowly been wondering if they're gonna pull a full FF9 Gaia on the source thing. Like I really the way these towers are so big, these tendrils go deep. But I guess we'll see.
I can't wait to get a proper good close-up look.
The towers of Guardian design.
I can't wait to climb all over those towers.
That's a cute euphemism.
Squiggly magic. You guys
I
ready
thought I
for
was
squiggle
going
magic?
to sit in Daniel's tower.
You're corrupting me!
Excellent.
Behold the magic of Ghouls.
I will say,
it's not void check,
Lunar
guys.
Bahamut has the aesthetic on point.
It's
That's
Garlian.
cool.
Yeah. I love this aesthetic. The fractals made me so fucking happy.
Same. I was like, oh my
It's
god.
so great.
We're only going to see more of that too. You know it.
No,
Fact.
kidding.
When I was
So-
like 16, the reason that I begged my parents to get me Photoshop was because I wanted to figure out how to make fractals.
Would you look at that? It's just so great.
So
I want to point out we
Really?
don't see any scions with us while we're fighting Lunar Bahamut there, but we do see Diamond Carbuncle. So
yeah.
I think we do. Hold on.
That's Estinian.
And here's
I
Lunar
thought I
Freed
s-
at night.
I thought I saw Alfino. Not just the carbuncle.
I think I did. There on the left.
Yeah. I'm gonna reframe it. It's a lot of particles.
yeah, the particles make it really
Yeah,
hard
you see him
to
here.
tell.
You see him here.
That's flame.
Yeah.
That's
Well-
That's not just from his attack. That's flame in the background.
Well, Tiamat's breathing fire the whole time. So
No, I mean just in general. There's a lot of particle effects just in the background too,
Oh,
like
yeah.
fire.
Fire.
So I
Which,
see
I
the
mean,
twins
Days
here.
and all that.
Yeah, that was Verflair, and Alize is right beside Alfino, I think.
Yeah.
Flare? No, that was Firefall.
You think so?
Mm-hmm.
I'm just looking at the pose here. Do any other jobs but Red Mage do that pose?
That's Alfino. That's Alfino is using abilities. I see
Still
a
got his
Ver.
top figure.
I see a Ver arrow, and there's the Fire Form. So I assume either it's Graha in Black Mage mode, or it's just all.
We'll
Got
have
it.
to have Foul change his settings so that his cursor actually appears.
Oh, is it not?
Mm-hmm.
I can fix that now.
Oh, there it is. It was just on. I see it.
So where is it you think Alize is?
Right beside the Dark Knight.
You can
Circle
see
it
the
with-
Ver
Yeah, I
arrow.
see the silhouette.
See the
I
girl?
was gonna say circle it with your cursor.
you know
so
what?
I can tell.
I just realized that you're actually in the way. Like, straight up in the way.
Yeah, that's
Gotta
why
drop-
I suggested that you turn our chibis off or toggle our chibis off for something earlier.
Must not have
This
heard
is
you.
probably
Yeah,
another
for the
good time to do
Detsahagen.
it. Mhm.
Yeah, there you can see a lot better.
Oh, that works too. Okay.
Oh, there she is.
Shrinky mode.
And then, of course, my DPI goes back to 200 something. Or resolution, rather.
This is kind of fun anyway. It's like a movie theater.
Yeah.
Another good shot of Cartno. You can see the
Yeah.
red and structures there.
That's the very top of Cartno.
Mm-hmm.
You can revisit it in the Summoner quest.
Yeah.
I thought it was so clever. I was like, I'm gonna translate everything, all the text that pops up. It's just their names.
This is an important shot, actually.
Let's talk about how Xenos became Archer from Unlimited Bladeworks.
It looks like he has basically. He has like every single weapon that he could possibly have that we might have wielded.
Yeah, like there's.
Yeah, it's Unlimited Bladeworks.
It has the blade. Like
I mean, to be
pole arms
fair,
and axes and swords.
It's like
I'm
every
I'm
endgame
sure my
weapon.
retainer has more weapons in it.
Yeah.
I mean, we know the Locks theme is basically Reen's theme from Fate.
You gotta make it.
Drink a sea of souls. I shall drink. Await you.
Oh, you knew I was gonna get it?
While I.
But anyways, back to what I was saying.
Bow.
What's up?
You wanted to say something about the Xenos scene.
Yeah, the weapons here, basically, which is what you guys were touching on. He has just about every weapon, like all these. This is like the Ifrit Greatsword. This is Crypt
It's a
Lurker.
match attack.
Crypt Lurker. This is the one from Longstop.
There's Emerald. There's even glamour weapons in there. Like
So
this.
all this,
These are
all the scene,
Go ahead.
yeah, all the scene shows me is that Xenos has the best retainers ever.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
An entire nation of retainers. Bring me swords or die.
There's a lot here. He's like, which one? So hit the whole patch. He'll just be shopping. Like,
Oh my god.
he's like,
Man,
hanging
I
out
can't
a
just.
little more. And
I should get a new weapon.
Which one of these would my friend like?
Let's see how many
That's
guys I need to
got
farm
it,
tones.
sword.
That's for what Van Daniel's money was.
Yeah, this
You know,
lance.
the Science spent all their money on a sword.
This lance right in front of Xenos is this
Which one?
Orthokinic Kai
Fair.
from Stormblood?
I think so.
Yeah, so he's grabbing another
In the-
katana, isn't he?
Yep. One more.
In the
He's not
right,
gonna end up with a katana.
in the
Notice
right,
the-
in the.
Notice the lack of scythes.
Yes. Notice the utter lack of sides.
They're not gonna reveal that yet.
He's gonna tie one of the katanas to the top of that pike there.
Oh, look.
God. Amy, why?
He's got to find himself a new weapon. He can't just go conventional.
Retainer, bring me a gun. I wish to strap a pole arm to it.
Apologies for the volume. I want to hear his dialogue.
Greatest of swords.
I tried two weapons. Now I have another weapon.
Gorge myself.
Can you imagine him walking around like that? Sir, what is that? Don't question it.
Shh, you're ruining it.
It's funny. Don't ever put it on 25% speed without muting.
No.
Yeah.
So,
It gets funky.
is this Authard? Or is this
Wait.
No,
Eorzea?
that's
That looks like the
that's
planet.
Eorzea.
No, it's
Eorzea.
definitely the planet. I'm looking at the continents.
That's Eorzea.
It's Eorzea, yeah.
Yeah,
I
that's
see. Oh, there it
Eorzea.
is. I see.
It's focused on the area where
that's right.
Paglethon is.
And Paglethon
What
is
a
right here in the
coincidence.
south.
That's definitely not totally intentional.
Yeah, I see Vilbrand over there to the left.
Hey guys,
Just like it's
Hydaelyn is the
totally
black
not-
materia.
Oh god.
Yeah.
Just like it's totally not
that meteor
intentional
symbol,
that
though?
they used Tsukuyomi's moon for the shot before this.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah,
that meteor symbol,
The
though.
meteor symbol.
Mm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So we're gonna talk about.
We discussed. Well,
Are we gonna talk about the glowy figure?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes,
sure.
we are.
All right.
That's that glowy figure and the area around it.
Yeah, that's Mordona for sure.
That's the shores of
Silver
Silver
Tear.
Tear Lake. Yeah, I found the exact spot.
we're like this.
Where is
Yes.
that, by the way?
It's right before Amaric's mug comes up on the screen.
Right.
His mug.
It's so fast. It's like Emmerich comes to
like,
cock
It's
block
after the part.
Something.
It's after the part where Xenos is playing with his new toys.
Is it?
His new sword pike.
You had your cursor on the timestamp earlier.
Yeah, I think it's 2:10.
There we go. Found it. Whoa. Hey, guy.
I'm
How about you not do that?
disgusted that I actually knew what timestamp
Here it is.
that was.
Of course. So just about there. Oh, there's
going to-
Emmerich. There's
hide this.
okay.
And yeah. I think that's as good as I can do.
No.
All right, so this is where we meet the shoe bill again.
The shoe bill.
No.
The shoe bill.
I don't think it's Emmett Selk or Hades or whatever. It's not him.
It's
someone
definitely
else.
something coming out of the live stream.
Maybe. I still think it's going to be someone else.
Is this? Are we in Cartano here?
No,
This is
Oh,
Mordona.
this is Mordona.
That's the
Mordona.
Mordona,
Agrius.
that's the yeah.
Oh, that is the Agrius. I see it.
You might want to put it back into full screen.
My brain was braining.
I'm going to go out on a limb and I'm going to say it's probably something to do with Zodiark. It might even be Zodiark himself reaching out to us.
I hope it's not Vana.
I'm kind of going towards the Zodiac thing too. I meant that you should hit. Yeah, there we go.
Hey, calm down.
So in 2.0, like the end of initial 2.0 before the patches, is when we get our first and only vision of Zodiark, and it's on the shores of Silver Tear Lake there. So I'm strongly inclined to think that this is going to be related to Zodiark, but I also think there's a possibility it could be Asm, which I sent
Guys.
Val a thing.
Guys,
Yeah, what?
Yes.
we've seen ethereal tears before, right?
Yep.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, we usually LB3 him.
What what if this is like a crack? And the light shining down at the bottom, it isn't quite like a robe or something, but it's just the light shining out of the tear.
I mean, it looks like a person, but I mean, if you wanted to look at it like a Rorschach test, it could be potentially like just a tear in
And that
reality.
something is coming out, not quite there. It's like not quite a figure, but it's like there's a light shining through.
Or it might be inviting us in. That might be how we get to the moon.
Yeah. This is hard for me to predict. I can't really. This looks like a person to me.
Yeah,
It
Fal, can you
does.
pull up the side by side that I sent you in Discord earlier.
It looks like a person, but I can also believe it's like a tear in the rift. Not quite an evil one, but like something that we might step into.
Kind of
It's the
hole
moon
that,
presence.
the kind of hole that Graha tore into reality to pull us to the first.
Yeah. A person-shaped hole.
Ironically, near Silver Tier.
Oh, the irony.
Sus.
It's been Silver Tear all along.
Oh god.
I'm going. I'm leaving.
Because I thought it might be. I legit did. It is. They've set themselves up for a pun there. If they don't optimize on it, I will shed a tear.
That's a good point.
The robe at the bottom, just like see how it just kind of dissipates, but it's more glowy, and more of a point.
The chat brings up a good point. It looks a lot like the hole we put in Hades at the end as well.
Yes.
Oh, please don't remind me of that.
Oh no! Somebody said Hades glowy hole. Bonk.
Good job. Good job, Tara.
Oh my lord.
Am I?
Wow, my mind didn't even go there. You are terrible.
Bonnie, me and you are under attack.
I know.
You do it to yourselves.
No.
You do it to yourselves.
Shame.
I'm not even going to say where my brain went with all that.
We're all thinking
We
about it.
know.
We are all
We
thinking
know.
it. We know.
Peggy,
No.
M.A.
You don't.
Peggy M.
That's
Peggy
been
M.A.
good.
Nice. That was really good. Anyways, back to this.
Rated M for male wife.
MW.
Yes.
Yep.
I accept.
Congratulations. There's another Meowth kill.
That's funny.
You know you've killed Meowth when she starts slapping her desk.
But yeah, I think that's Zodiark.
I think it's Zodiark or Asm, but Faust still hasn't put my image up on the.
While I'm skeptical on the Zodiac thing, I will bring up in its favor that I've tied before the yin and yang to Hydaelyn and Zodiac. And, well, as the color inversion aside, the darkness has a seed of light in it, and the light has a seed of darkness in it. If you look at the representation.
Yeah.
It's your intention.
Bon, you're gonna have to direct me. I can't find this thing anywhere.
Okay, I will relink.
Where is it? Where did you send the message?
I'll just DM it to you in a second. Hold on. There you go. It's in your DMs.
Thank you.
So I think that the silhouette here is extremely, extremely similar.
I mean, with
I would love for us to have a good old chat with ourselves.
yeah, I mean that would fit the four theme as well.
That would be interesting, although I have to wonder how exactly we would manage that. Like in terms of if we're sundered, then whatever remaining shards there are plus us represents the sum total of what we could potentially be talking to? Question mark.
What if the beginning part of the trailer, the Endwalk or whatever, is just the past, us in the past, while us on the moon at the end is the present.
I mean,
Eventually
something
the
like
future.
that, or like the convocation crystal having some extra stuff snuck into it that we don't currently know about.
I would certainly be like him to do that.
But yeah, Neela brings up a good point in chat that the narrow waist for the figure on the right doesn't quite match.
I don't think it necessarily debunks it, especially because there's other factors that might be at play, but I don't think it's necessarily exactly this.
I mean, it might still be forming, so it's not fully in view.
Right. It's a light form that's like kind of radiating out a bit.
I also strongly suspect that this is such a short glimpse because it only glows very briefly. I have a feeling it's a red herring, but we'll see.
Hydaelyn just comes out of it and we just deck her.
What have
No,
you
like,
been
legit,
telling
I
me?
think someone just like gets untempered and they just glow for a second and they're like, wow, that was cool. Or something. I don't know. I legit think it'll be like,
so
we'll see it and we'll be like, that was a flash in the pan. That's what I expect. That's what the kind of thing they use to mislead, so.
Yep.
It could be working on us even now.
I'm needless to say excited though, because destroy them all!
Yes.
It's the way it glows. Like it's glowing out at the top, out at the sides, and out at the bottom, but it shines at the bottom because that's how light reflects.
If their intentions was to make us all very stir crazy and excited.
And it's if you look at the bottom, I think there's water there too. Like it's reflecting off of the water.
There's water there, but it might be crystal.
Could be too.
If I'm
Yeah, I
recalling
think
the
it's crystal.
location. I won't spend my life on it, but I'm pretty sure.
Either way, we won't get an answer to this until 5.5.
No. Yeah.
We may not
that's
even
coming in the next
entirely.
patch.
Probably 550.
We might
Yeah,
not even get a
555.
full. Yeah, we might not get a full understanding until that point. Like, they're probably going to have that figure pop up or whatever it is, and then it'll just disappear just as quickly.
I haven't said anything because for I want to explain if they
Go ahead.
if you may. The silhouette of the figure, I think it's, while it could be pointing towards, I think they wouldn't have shown something that important if they weren't they weren't quite sure that we are not going to guess it. So they could simply have gone and stick a random model and make us go batshit crazy. So I wouldn't go. I mean, it's fine. I mean, I don't know if I explain myself. It's fine to try to guess by the silhouette, but at the end of the day, it's looking for clues in the could be just, how do you call it?
Looking for love in all the wrong places.
Or grasping for straws. That's how you said. I don't know.
Yeah.
Anyway.
So I see what you're saying.
My reasoning in regards with the glowy figure goes more along the lines of what is narratively, what makes sense narratively speaking. I can't, of course, say anything in this regard because we still don't know. Maybe if this doesn't happen, if 5.5 and it's for this second part, maybe in 5.5 I can or we can guess where the narrative is pointing to, right? But right now, I think
I'd
have
like to expand on your point once you're done.
Huh?
Sorry. I said I want to expand on your point once you're done. I think I know what you're trying to say.
Yeah, probably you would be better. You would do it better than I do.
No, you cued me into this.
No, the question, to keep it simple, as of now, I think there's three main possibilities here. I agree with the Asen possibility. This could be a vision of Asen. And my question is, prompted by what or by who? That's another question. I think that it might be a projection of Zodiac. It could be because it happens. This is basically the area where we first had a vision of Zodiac, so it could be Zodiac calling for help. And my option 3, I do believe it could be. It could be Hades, or it could be. I mean, I don't. I have to say it's. I don't. I think it may be Hades, but at the same time, when I said my point on, I think Hades may be on play here, and the mislead is that the figure isn't him, but he's actually in the scene in another form. I don't know if I'm explaining that myself.
That basically gets at exactly what I wanted to say, if you don't mind. If you're done.
Yeah, go ahead.
I didn't want to interrupt, sorry. What I'm thinking, and the reason I am inclined to point at it and say this is probably a red herring, is it's a very bright thing, it's a very interesting thing, it's very eye-catching. No matter what you're doing watching this trailer, there's no way you're going to fail to notice a huge white glowing-ass figure like that. And start thinking about it and wondering, what is it? This is intended to draw our eyes away from something else. Not necessarily in this specific scene, but they are saying, they put this here and they start our minds racing along one track. So we never even consider this alternate pathway, whatever it ends up actually being. That's why I think that's why I call it a red herring, because it's made to make us focus in on it and not look around more.
It's deliberate, and I keep saying they're keeping everything regarding. I mean, they kind of spilled the tea on 6.0 trailer, because it was inevitable. But at the same time, they're keeping their tabs very close, very hermetic when it comes to Hades. So them showing this glowing figure and it actually being Hades, either it's a big massive red herring, or they want us to believe it's not only to actually be. I don't know if I make sense. It's just, it's like if you remember 5.4, we say everything they are showing is going to be misleading, and actually the trailer for MSQ was basically that. I don't know.
I'm still salty about 5.4.
I'm still so ecstatic about 5.4. As soon as
I feel like Eden was the best part of that patch, but the main story was like, it felt like it was missing something.
Fan Daniel carried MSQ, 5.4 MSQ.
As soon as I heard in the trailer, like I was saying, as soon as I heard his voice in the trailer, like introducing to us, I was like, I'm going to enjoy this patch.
I'm annoyed that all of the interesting stuff was basically in the trailer and then wasn't in it.
I mean, I found the resolution to tempering that I've been anticipating so long. I found that very interesting as well, and the resolution, well, not resolution, but the advancement of peace with the beast tribes. Anyway,
flying. However, a final, if you allow me a final point that I forgot to, who said that the figure truly looked like it was live streaming?
That was me.
Okay.
It reminded me of Ishtola when she popped out.
I haven't felt that way. It's just the glow figure, because it's not ether or usual ether blue. It's a more green. You know, the usual way they live stream. That's actually, if you. I propose that we apply a saturation filter later on that screenshot to see to what color actually is closer, that blood glow, if blue or green, because if it's closer to green, to me that's kind of not a giveaway, but closer to a live stream theory.
Right. I do want to address your earlier point, and I posted this in the chat, that I just want to remind everyone, all the information we have right now is the information that Square wants us to have, and it's probably a lot of it being put in out of context, misrepresented, and that's very intentional to distract us from what might actually be happening.
Absolutely.
Okay, well, I think we've covered pretty much all of the trailer now. We've gone into some theories about what it might hold for us, and we've gone into the other Producer Live Letter details as well. So I think that pretty much wraps up today's session. Is there anything else people would like to say before we close out?
Thanks so much for coming out.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Man.
Happy Easter, and don't believe Heidenland's lies.
Exactly.
That lives.
Thanks for coming out, you guys. It's been a pleasure. See us next week, same time, same channel. We will put out a poll, see what you guys want to see next. And thanks for watching. Take care, everyone.
Take care, everybody.
Bye-bye.
Be safe.